Namaste, welcome. In these past 2 years, a lot of things have changed and really challenged our ways of life. But life in general is really challenging. So I think a lot of people are experiencing fear. Maybe more than they want to admit to. So what can we do about this? We say that all of life is in support of us. And this is true even about fear in its very essence. It is there to help us to detect dangerous or even life-threatening situations, so really to protect us and to help us to survive. We can see this in the animals too. Sometimes when I have my cup of coffee in the morning, I look at the meadow and the birds scouting for food. And when they start pecking at worms, it's perhaps 3 pecks and then 5 frantic glances around to see if there's any looming danger. We don't know what it feels like for them, but they seem to be constantly on guard, much like the human beings. For the animals, it stops there. They will behave like this for the rest of their life. But in the human form, we have this unique capacity to contemplate things like fear. And also an intuitive knowing that it's not the way we're supposed to feel like. We have no natural predators, so really there is no reason to be fearful. But somehow we have made ourselves our worst enemy by structuring society in a way that hinges on this fragile concept of money and power, but also by believing so much in our minds that constantly projects into the past, into the future, imaginary, and has all these ideas about what life should look like. But very often it doesn't turn out that same way. The mind is great when it comes to solving practical problems. But how helpful has it been when it comes to finding lasting peace and happiness? All fear comes from ego and the belief that we are a person that is separate and that needs to defend itself against other components and competitors, and that is confined to this mortal body. But remember, all of life and also fear is in support of you, ultimately guides you to the truth of what you really are, which is no fear. This is why it feels uncomfortable and unnatural. And when we start to scrutinize it, it leads us to what is real, true, and lasting. All thoughts about how am I going to survive, what is going to happen to my body, are concerned with an imaginary future. And sometimes we get so carried away with these scenarios that we become oblivious to what is happening right now. What is actually here? But it doesn't always stop here. Sometimes we actually suffer. There's no food in the fridge and we go hungry, or there is a physical pain in the body. So the invitation goes much deeper than this. Perhaps to really ask, who is it that is suffering? My back might hurt, but is this who I am? If I can observe it. It might feel uncomfortable, but what is it pointing me to? What happens when we shift our perspective from thinking that we are under threat and that things are out to get us, to thinking that life is in support of us and that everything that happens in life is tailor-made for us to help us awaken, to find what is true and real and lasting. These are not just lovely words. That's nice, but they would fade away soon. So let's see for ourselves, what is the core of my existence and my life? Not what other people say, not what I've been brought up with, not what the news tell me, but for myself. What can I see to be the core of my life and existence? So let's take a moment of silence. All the things around us can continue to happen, but right now they are not of our concern. They are not what I am. If I turn the attention from the outside to the inside, I can perceive my breath. Perhaps even the beating of my heart. But is that even what I am? Or do I not simply observe them? Is this observer contained within my body? Or is it not more like space? Can anything harm or disturb this space? What does death even mean here? Where is the beginning or the end to this space? Is it real or do we imagine it? Of all things, is it not the most real? What is beingness afraid of? Everything appears inside of it. What could harm it? Is it even concerned with such questions? Is it concerned at all? What happens when we strip away all the things that we are not? Can we still live our life like this, or are we incapacitated? It makes no difference to the awareness whether the eyes are open or closed. And you will testify for yourself how well you can function when you are centered and clear about who you really are. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, and if you like, subscribe to my channel so we can stay connected. All my love to you.